There was a Pentecostal conference in 2022 in Orlando, Florida. I wasn't invited to it. I can't go to UPC General Conferences because, Woody, they kicked me out for having an American flag and told me I wasn't allowed to pray with people. Wow, the founder of the Jesus Mission wasn't allowed to pray with people. Boy, if Bill Clinton would have walked in there, they'd have sucked his dick and had him right on the platform. Hey, is Jeff Arnold going to be the keynote speaker of BOTT? If not, I'm going to raise a ruckus. I'm letting you know up front. I'm going to raise a ruckus all week. I'll raise a fucking ruckus like that Pentecostal organ's never seen. If Jeff Arnold is not back as a keynote speaker because of the times, it's a shame. It's a shame. It's a fucking sin is what it is. You don't push people like me out of church and tell me I can't come with an American flag when I watch you worship Bill Clinton. You're not going to tell me that I can't pray in your churches when I've watched you let other superintendents come and you acknowledge them from the pulpit. You invite them to the stage. You say, well, it's because you say fuck. Well, you go to Disney World, you pussy. It's called Magic Kingdom. You're right in the middle of witchcraft. How many Pentecostals went to Disney World and kicked people out of choirs for cannabis or wine? You're kicking people out of choirs, but you don't kick them out. Are gays welcome in the church? No, they're not welcome unless you can sing or play the organ. If you can sing or you can play music, they'll let you in, they'll hide your shit, and they'll pay you. And you're calling yourself the Proclaimed Church of Earth. And Matt Maddix, after a pandemic, your greatest soul winner in history, the greatest revivalist, one of the top 5 in your entire organization in history. And if you want to say number 1 soul winner above Merle Cornwell and all of them, yes, sir. You come and tell me after a pandemic, one person that ain't afraid of Goliath and ain't afraid of the Illuminati or any satanic occult or any of them jackass pussies, and you with your overweight self is going to come to me and your suit pants are so damn tight, and you're going to tell me I can't pray in the altar with my son. Or I can't bring my American flag to church on your foreign missions night. Wow, I saw what you did to Tekla Marion. I saw what you did to Kenneth Hagin, Billy Cole, and every other revivalist. So do the angels, and guess what? All your movers and shakers are gone or dead. And you're left with a bunch of sissified people, and there's a few movers and shakers left in that organization. I mean, a few. I texted Jack Cunningham and Anthony Mang, and I said, hey, some of the young men you're promoting do not have the juice. And I know it hurts for them to hear it from me, but they don't. Hey, I want to tell you, I lost my mind in 2018. Y'all remember? Y'all remember the toilet paper on the head, me smoking a cigar, getting drunk, and F this and F that? Y'all remember that, don't you? Well, I had friends, family, and millions of people with millions of dollars that literally knew I was homeless. I group texted pastor friends of mine and told them I was homeless. But yet, they'll preach the Good Samaritan story because it'll get people on their feet at a camp meeting. They preach sermons. They don't preach messages. It's sermon number 50 they preached everywhere else. They don't have a fresh word for nobody. Nobody knows the kind of ruckus I'm able to make. You're going to have to deal with me for 8 years as your leader. You're not going to get me for 4 years. You're going to get 8, and then you're going to get my son right behind me. So you're going to have to deal with 16 years in a row with the Maddix men, literally. And there's not one damn thing you can do about it except just face it and deal with it and say, oh my. They say buckle up your seatbelt. No, there is no seatbelt for this. We're going to give you butterflies and emotions like you've never seen. Oh, we're going to put sound in your ears and we're going to annoy. I don't get revenge. I annoy. People like me, you didn't know people like me would come back, did you? You thought I was done. You thought I was a failure. You thought, oh, man, Maddix, it's sad. Look what happened to him. Well, was it sad? I think the heavens were glad. I think the heavens were glad they weren't sad. Hey, comment below where you're watching from. Here, I'm in Arizona. Can't spell Arizona without air or zone. And guess what? I know a thing or two about air. And I definitely know a thing or two about the zone. What's the zone? I'm not going to read your comment right now, Joe. I'm not going to read it. But I love you. And I appreciate you. And I'm going to read it. I just can't read it right now. But I'm glad to see you, Joe. You're the father of Jesus. His name was Joseph. Come on. Say, who was the greatest leader in the Bible? Was it David or was it Joseph? It was Joseph. Joseph didn't go fucking kill his best warrior. It'd be like killing our top Navy SEAL because you want his wife. Who would do that? You don't do that shit. He killed his best man because he wanted his wife. You didn't see Joseph doing that. He ran from Potiphar's wife. Who are we going to study? Who are we going to elevate? Just because David and Solomon had a lot don't mean they were the best. There were many kings in the Bible. You know the word kings and kingdoms is in the Bible 2,500 times. That's what the Bible's about. The Bible's a book of warfare. You can get every military code you could possibly find in that Bible. Even Jesus gave military codes. If you really study Jesus and his 12, you could get more stuff for our military out of those 4 books than probably anything living on this earth. But anyways, I had a blast at Scottsdale Bible yesterday, and Tim told me, he said, Matt, they were kicking Navy SEALs out of the military for not taking the jab. I couldn't believe it. I literally couldn't believe it. It's the shock of my 48 years. Do you know the value of a Navy SEAL? Do you know? Do you have any idea? Hey, we got Veronica here. Veronica, how you doing? Thanks for the kind words, Joe. I love you. Well, I can't talk about the UPC. Well, look at all the people they bash publicly. Trinitarians, gays, you name it. Me? That's the problem. Is they taught you not to say nothing. They taught you to shut up. They taught you to obey. You ever heard that documentary, Stay Sweet and Obey, about the Mormon church? I've seen what those pastors do to the ladies in their churches, my friends, your wives. They emasculate men, and they literally have 40, 50 emotional affairs going on with ladies in their churches. Jacob in the house, they don't like you, but they sure like protecting predators. Come on, Jacob. Boom, he wrestled an angel. Would think they could work with someone that cusses. The words they talk about their congregation. I've heard more preachers say fuck on the golf course. Who thinks I'm going to go to Because of the Times this year? It's coming up next week. A week from today. Or is it tomorrow? Maybe it starts tomorrow night. They had Joel Urshan preaching at POA, I guess, on Sunday. I watched better. I grew up under the fire. I grew up under real anointing and real revival before it got all polished and political. Come on, Joel. You have a grandfather that was tougher than this. Your brother left the UPC. Come on, you got a wife named Heidi, the most beautiful children and grandchildren named Sophia. Come on, Joel. If they're trying to set you up to be the next superintendent of that organization, you got to come with more fire. You should rip that suit coat off and your tie, stand on that pulpit and preach like they've never seen anybody preach. I'm disappointed in our young men. They're not creating movements at all. We got year 40 going on Because of the Times, and none of y'all have created anything close to being as fresh. Closest thing we had to being as fresh, you kicked out, and that was Soul Winners Boot Camp. What do we got left? What's after BOTT? Huh? You tell me what's next. Because Kenneth Haney ain't here, nor is Joy Haney. I wonder how much longer Landmark will survive. Oh, it'll sustain. It'll sustain. But how much longer? Because most of the children of these icons left and have no confidence in that movement, if you call it a movement. Caleb Maddix tried to come back and won't. We came back for 4 years, humble, crying, praying. You got 2 shepherds among you tried to come home. My son watched. We were going to a Pentecostal every week, Pentecostal church every week until General Conference. We haven't been once since. Not one time. You don't think God and the angels are disappointed about that? That Matt Maddix and Caleb Maddix were going to a Pentecostal church every week. Flew to the likes of Youth Congress, General Conference. It's funny who you're willing to throw away. You want to keep Bill Clinton. They got a boner over Ben Shapiro tweeting about Youth Congress. Hey, the greatest thing that happened at Youth Congress wasn't Ben Shapiro tweeting about it. It was the fact that you had Matt and Caleb Maddix down there the whole time. And I marched through the whole Youth Congress with an American flag. We were dancing in the spirit as I was holding the American flag at Youth Congress. Go look it up. It's on video, and I will access all the video footage. I'm an actor. I'm going to be acting in all the video footage. Boy, did they do me wrong, Aaron. What the heck? They did me wrong. Told me I couldn't pray with people. And told me I couldn't come to church with the American flag. Wow. Bill Clinton visits their churches. They have him right up on the platform and give him the microphone. You think I'll ever go back? You think they could ever get me back as a speaker? They'd be making ice cream in hell before they'd ever get me back as a speaker. You know how hard it was? I had a homeless angel up there with Travis and Caleb Maddix discussing this. I went and brought him right up to our Marriott Hotel right across from that conference. And I said, hey, they won't let me come to church with an American flag. And the first words out of his mouth were, that's an abomination. That's the first words out of my homeless angel's mouth was, that's an abomination. You know, on the messengers of God saying this, the angels were talking that day because I was looking out the window crying as I was ironing my suit pants and I had to hang up my suit. I actually had my suit pants on and my dress shirt and I was tying my tie. I had to watch my little 22-year-old world-changing son and Travis, who I trained, who was a Catholic boy when I trained him, and he moved in with me when he was 16 down to Jeff Arnold's church, and I took him all over Pentecost. And I took him to the feet of every great man. There's not a great man in Pentecost that Travis or my son didn't get to sit around. Not one. They got to sit in the homes of the best. I can tell you stories about all the hierarchy families of Pentecost because I knew them all, every living last one of them, and their families, children, grandchildren. I saw things no other human. They won't even let me speak at their funerals, and I can tell the best stories and give the most honor. It's mind-blowing who you've let speak at your funerals while you've had me sitting right in your crowds. Hey, don't forget, in history, I did Soul Winners Boot Camp at General Conference 7 years straight. That's history. I did. It's documented. There's video footage of us going through the General Conference hallway shouting, ain't no party like the Holy Ghost party. Well, these fat asses were going to the golf courses on the American Express church card. You don't find that suspicious. So here's your budget, $5,000. We need to do a Soul Winners Boot Camp. We need 1,000 people get the Holy Ghost. Can you get them here? But their platform decoration budget was $50,000. Yeah, that's just how it went. And I had to go into meetings with Lee Stone King, Jack Cunningham, David Smith, and all of our revivalists, Greg Godwin. And there was a war going on at the fucking General Conference because the religious hierarchy was pissed because we were doing a Holy Ghost crusade. And they were like, guys, whatever it takes, we must have 1,000 people get the Holy Ghost, whatever it takes. To the point where they'd see one get it and they'd say, five more. Hey, there's another one. And then another one, and all the preachers were in the fucking restaurants. We were taking them home and doing our giveaways. Go back to General Conference and watch me and Tim Downs doing the giveaways in my team, and watch all the preachers walk off the platform and leave. You'll pay preachers thousands of dollars for one sermon and not send one penny to the Jesus mission. You'll give evangelists thousands of dollars for preaching a 20-minute sermon is all they're allowed. You know, we only get 20 minutes nowadays in these big churches. Maybe 30 if you're lucky. I looked at timers and watched pastors say, no matter what, I don't care if God's moving, when that timer hits 20, you stop. Bill Clinton. Yeah, but they still worship his ass. They still elevate him. He was at POA in 2018. He got to go up on the platform and speak and greet the congregation. I didn't. I was there in 2020. They didn't even acknowledge me publicly. She said I got my bar of soap. Yeah, when we used to cuss, my father would make me eat soap. We ought to make some of these people eat soap. Jennifer says, I'm sorry you've been hurt. I haven't been hurt. I've been crushed. I've been sold out like Joseph was. I've been betrayed. I've been gossiped and lied on. I watched millionaires leave me homeless. I watched millionaires watch me go downtown. I could have been killed down there with the cartels, the human. They burned people in trash cans down there. You hear me? There were gunshots going off right in front of me where I was down there with no security. Now, I might have had security, but I never hired it in 4 years. You can go back to every single missions thing I've ever done. The police that begged us not to go, and we went anyways. And never hired security. Went down there by myself late at night. Late at night, I went down there by myself. Well, there's a lot of people. And that's sad because I watched G.A. Vesta, Anthony Mickey. I watched it. I was there. I talked to the likes of, I could go down the list. Nobody knows how deeply connected I was to POA and how much I still love them. And wouldn't say one or do one damn thing to hurt them. And if I ever had one knowledge that Gentry Mangan was homeless, I'd have it fixed in under 5 minutes. Under 5 minutes. Under fucking 5 minutes, you fucking pussies. There's certain people you don't leave homeless. There's certain people out here you protect 24/7. There's certain people and their children that you say, hey, we need them on earth. And we're going to build walls of protection on them. And we're going to give them unlimited money to do what they need to do. And they didn't to us. I can't tell you one time they took up what they call a special offering for me. Not one. Literally not one. You want to know that in history? The amount of mega conferences I preached, not one special offering. They could have raised $1 million in one night for me, and it would have revolutionized Soul Winners Boot Camp and Mission 25. Mike Hopkins and Carol, you don't want Carol giving the report as her husband sitting in the highest archangel of heaven, Michael, giving the report right now in the heavens of what he and his wife watched me go through doing 12 mission trips in 1 year in America. While I was a licensed United Pentecostal Church pastor, and I preached for Anthony Mangan that year, and I can't wait to give you the list of churches I preached for that year, and they gave me crumbs, and I mean crumbs, and I mean crumbs, and I mean crumbs. I saved people in churches whose families were in disarray, they were overweight, their businesses were going under, and they encountered me once. And next thing you know, they're making $15 million a year. Did I get an offering? No. They send it to foreign missions. You're bitching about the government sending all their money overseas. Well, our churches do the same thing. They pride themselves on it. Well, you've neglected evangelists in your nation. You've neglected revivalists and founders of movements. I'm a movement builder. Let's go down the list of it. I'm still building a movement called the Jesus Mission. In fact, I put on a Jesus Mission shirt right now. You can sit there and you can say, well, he's bitter. No, this ain't bitterness. This is fucking, I'm pissed. The Bible even says, be angry and sin not. Well, it's okay to be angry when you've seen the kind of horse shit I've seen. It's an embarrassment. The Pentecostal families that I was so good to, that haven't called me one time, sent me a letter, an offering, nothing. But I'll tell you what, Angela Haney, she sure did. I bet she spent $100,000 on me and my son, Caleb Maddix, in history. I'll give her $1 million. I'll give her $10 million. It's purest one in that family. You can't find her anywhere on the internet. You couldn't find her if you wanted to, but she's here on earth. And I guarantee you, she can tell you more about her father and mother and all their family put together. And there's nobody to honor her father and mother more than her. Not one of them. Not one of them. You say, wow. I went to Kenneth Haney's funeral. I rode with Jack Cunningham, Randy Keys, and Anthony Mangan to and fro to the grave. Hour and a half drive, went in and out together. I was eating in and out with Anthony Mangan, Jack Cunningham, Randy Keys. I spent thousands of hours with these people. Thousands. Their families, eye contact, observing body language, the things they said that they didn't think I heard. Me saying, guys, I need some advice. Look, man, what do I do? How do I survive this organization now that Kenneth Haney's gone? That's what I'm telling them on the way back from the gravesite. I was driving back from the Kenneth Haney's gravesite. I think it took almost an hour to get up there. And the whole way back, I did all the talking, not them. I was drilling them. How am I going to make it? What's your advice? I need real answers. And we went to Joy Haney's that night together. In history, I rode from the gravesite to In-N-Out to Joy Haney's mansion. It's one of the most beautiful homes and properties I've ever seen. I could have married Angela. I could have married Stephanie. I dated 2 of their daughters, my friends. I've been in their hotel rooms at General Conference. I was there when he got voted out, and I heard stuff none of you heard. I know stuff that happened behind the scenes none of y'all know. Not a damn one of y'all. It's the only way. The only way to clear out your karma and clear out what's coming after y'all is to get to doing good as fast as you fucking can. And I mean fast. I'm talking you should already be moving. You should already be moving money around. You should already be saying, Matt, how do I send you money? It's a shame that I've been leading this Jesus mission 4 years still getting crumbs. I did it broke, without a car. I did it homeless. I did it out of my mind. I did it with no protection or security down there with cartels, human trafficking, murderers, people putting hexes and everything you could. They had the largest Satan conference here in 2020, 2 blocks from where I lived. So who has the keys? Jesus Christ. Who do you give them to? Peter. Well, who's he going to give them to next? If there's a whiteboard in heaven of the next top, if they said, okay, you know what? America deserves a shepherd. It deserves a king with a heart. It deserves, a true leader. Kind of like a pilot or a captain, somebody safe, somebody that gives a shit about the people on the plane or the ship. It's called leadership, not leadership. Wouldn't you guess that my name would at least hit the top 3 of possible choices if heaven was deciding? Remember, the government's on his shoulders. He sets up one, puts down another. Promotion comes from the Lord. Well, I don't know. Wouldn't you guess my name would be pretty high up on the list if we're getting ready to have a righteous leader? If we've had Satan worshipers as presidents, you tell me you can't have a Jesus worshiper? Hey, they drunk the blood of babies to get to where they are. You wouldn't believe the shit they had to do to get to their position. Well, you tell me, my friends, because with the position or without the position, we're here to do it. The Jesus mission alone can get the job done. Wait till I'm loose. I haven't been loose since I preached, since I did Soul Winners Boot Camp, since I went through my first affair. I haven't been loose since that day. You don't know the fight of what it was like to be the father of an anointed kid like Caleb Maddix, because it wasn't just my anointing. He's getting a double portion. Boy, there's only one human being on this planet. Listen, I've never passed my mantle on to anybody, never. Not even with words. I've had some of the most powerful young men crying rivers of tears, trembling and shaking, grabbing my arm, begging me to put it on their hand and pray for my mantle. And I said, absolutely not. There's only one person on this planet even tough enough to handle it. You're not even tough enough to handle my mantle. Are you joking? Don't you play with words like that. I had young men coming, wanting to date girls in my church, saying they're going to be the next Matt Maddix of Africa. You ain't the next Matt Maddix of shit. And what has he got today? A t-shirt business. He ain't done shit compared to what Travis has done. Thank God I saved Amber from him. Thank God that I saved Amber from all the sissies that I brought in, these pastor sons. Wanting to date all the gorgeous girls in my church. He ain't dating any of them. At least not for the first year. You're here to be on a mission. Mormons don't get to date for 2 years, you jackasses. Toughen up, get some discipline. I got married as a virgin at 21. I didn't get my first blowjob till I was 30. I lived through an entire marriage without a blowjob. Talk about blowing the job. I'm the top evangelist in the UPC blowjobless. Didn't even know what it felt like until I had my first one at 30. I was like, holy moly. I've made up my mind I want to have 1 million children. There's no reason I couldn't. If I can sperm the rest of my life, I can have children the rest of my life. Am I right? Is it wrong to say sperm? Is that a sin? Does anybody talk about sperm at churches? No, you don't hear anybody preach about sperm. I told Miss Reese we ought to sneak into because of the times, but I changed my mind. I don't want to go. I've spent way too much money and time around them and them not giving me a dime. I've given all my money and time, they don't give me a dime. If I was everybody, I would get to doing good fast. I would. I'd stop giving a lot of these churches. I'd start giving the Jesus mission, even though I haven't asked y'all. How many times I've taken a special offer from the Jesus mission? You don't even see a website where you can give anywhere, do you? I tested everybody. I want to see who we're... There's a way we can say, I don't know how to do it, but I need to get you money. I've had people drive 16 hours to come hand me $100,000. I called him the other day. I said, I need $100,000. He was laughing. I said, I'm not laughing. I've had to call people and say, listen, I need $1 million. I had a conference called Jack Cunningham, Jeff Arnold, Anthony Mangan, Mark Foster, Kenneth Haney. And who else was on that call? There were 6 very powerful men in Pentecost the year of Soul Winners Boot Camp, and we were going under. I mean, you couldn't have found out. Why would they? It'd be like the Lakers not paying Kobe Bryant. It'd be like the Yankees not paying Derek Jeter. You had a Kobe Bryant and Derek Jeter among you. And you had a son. 22 years of his life, he stayed around you. I was a youth pastor for 4 different United Pentecost churches. I was a pastor at United Pentecost Church for 5 years, and I preached in every one of their conferences just about except Landmark. And I preached in all their churches, all the big churches except the Haney's, never preached there once. I don't understand that in history. I'll never understand that. The kind of revival we would have broke into. Anthony Mangan had me every year for 12 years straight. One time booked me for an entire month, the entire month of October. I preached one time in history for an entire month revival at POA. When Lee Stone King was there and Vonnie Marshall, Lee Stone King came when I was there. Boy, did he. Want to know about all the thousands of hours of conversations I've had with Lee Stone King? Do you? You want to know the inputs he's given me and the secrets and some of the things, the rawest things he's told me that you wouldn't believe? You'd have to sit around the fire for me to reveal it. There's some things I'll never reveal publicly. You'd have to pay mega money to get into an inner circle just to even hear some of the stuff I could share with y'all. Oh, the dispensary's open. Yay! Go get some gummies and some J's. Hey, you get a J, you'll have a good day. I don't like to do J's too much, though, because I protect my voice. Rex Johnson was the youth president when I was a teenager. We all love Rex. Dennis, I love Rex. Rex is real. Rex is a daddy. Rex is a shepherd. Rex is a people person. Rex is full of love and full of kindness. Boy, is he. He had to get a call that his mother and children were killed in a car accident. You ever heard that song, Don't Laugh at Me? Well, you shouldn't laugh at some people. They said, well, he left the organization. No, some people didn't leave. God saved them and preserved them. You got it, Harlan? My boy, Harlan. I love you.
I'm a little boy with glasses.
Hey, man, we got strawberry cough gummies. Well, gummy sounds like yummy, not gummy. It's called getting high, not getting low.
And I know how it feels.
Try myself to slash Miss Reese. How many times she woke up here and be travailing and crying?
I'm that kid on every playground.
This ain't no just show, my friends. This ain't no game here.
A single teenage mother trying to
Overcome her past. Wow. We got parents and Christians that kick their children out of their house if they're gay. Kick their children out of their house if they come up pregnant. Cutting them off financially. How could you cut your daughters off financially? My sister's a single mother, and when I was homeless and broke, I still sent her money every week. You fraudulent fuckers. Hey, my boy Aaron says he's having gummies right now. That boy. You get that third eye wide open, son. You get that third eye wide open. Lead Jesus mission across America. I was thinking once a month, but I'm probably going to go every weekend like an old-fashioned evangelist. You know, I'm an evangelist at heart. Tampa Bay is a special place. I thought about moving back there and starting a church. You know, I'm the rightful pastor of that city. I'm the spiritual shepherd of that city. Nobody broke strongholds in that city like we did. And I say we. But it was through me, Christ through me. I told Miss Reese, I said, well, we conquered Tampa Bay and I conquered Phoenix. And I think I'm going to go to San Fran next. I think I might go right to San Fran and start me a church right downtown. $1 trillion? How many American churches? 400,000 American churches. Oh, we can't. You mean the fucking churches can't end homelessness? Are you fucking kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? You got churches with millions sitting in their fucking bank accounts. Millions! And pride themselves on, look how good we're doing, look how much God's blessed us. God ain't blessed shit. You hear me? You can lose all that money so fast. $1 trillion our government took in. And American churches in 2020 took in $82 billion, and that's a fact. $82 billion during a pandemic. So you're telling me we're sitting in a nation that has 5.29 million hotel rooms. It has 144 million houses. We've got 11 million RVs. We've got fucking 283 million registered vehicles. The government took in trillions of dollars, and our churches took in 82 billion, and you ain't seen jack shit. And there's still millions of missing children, and you're still sucking the dicks of these pedophiles, and you are still bowing down to all these preachers, treating them like gods and kings. Nowadays, you can't even get a key to your church. You can't even get your pastor's cell phone number. I asked the guy yesterday at Scottsdale Bible, how do I reach you? He goes, look me up on the website. You think I'll look that fucker up on the website? Fuck no. I sat there and smiled and thought, you have no fucking idea who you're talking to. Next time I ask you how do I reach you, you say, here's my cell phone number. Fucking people still trying to position themselves with me. Your position ain't shit. Hey, leave those children alone, perverts. Hey! 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 Leave those kids alone. If you don't leave them alone, we'll take you to the bottom of the fucking ocean and keep you alive. We know how to bury people alive. We know how to bury you, keep you alive in that casket, and you'll never get out of it. And we can keep you in there for 20 years until it's filled with your shit and piss, and we can get in there and clean it out and put you in another one. We can put sound in there 24/7. Then you gotta sit there and you can escape the sound. We can put snakes in that casket with you. You better quit fucking around with America. You better quit fucking around with children, you fucking jackass dickhead pussies. Oh, because those children you killed, they came back as angels. And some of the children now have supernatural powers you can't keep up with. 12 years of school couldn't give them what they already have. Hey, leave those kids alone. Love y'all. I'll see you tomorrow, my friend.